What's good, you guys, and welcome on another episode. How are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. And if you are here for the very first time, I see you. Where have you been? Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe before you click out so you see more videos from this channel. In today's video, we are going to be checking out this video from this guy. This video is very funny because I feel it answers the question that a lot of people have in mind, especially people who have at one point in their life want to immigrate to another place, another country, like literally anywhere. Or whenever you come across posts that says, this country will pay you to move here and that, this guy made a very funny 50 seconds video literally saying what is on the mind of so many people, especially if you are black. So without wasting much time, let me just roll the clip and let's get right into it.
I'm so tired of them talking about these countries will pay you this amount of money to move there, but do they like niggas? That's the question we want to know.
That was the video he posted, and this video has been going viral. These countries that say we will pay you to move to our country, do they even like black people? Because we can tell that there is no place that black people are ever going to go to that they will feel comfortable unless it's a place that is dominated by their same skin color. If not, black people are mostly not like anywhere that is not dominated by their own people. And as we know, if you want to move to a particular place, your security, your safety is very, very important. And these are some of the questions like, oh, you all want us to move to the country, all these adverts that we see, all these influencers says that this country will pay you to move to their place. Do they even like black people? Are black people safe there? Lots of people are coming in on this video and using that opportunity as well to share their own experience of some countries they've moved to or some countries they've been to, that when they are saying we will pay you to move to this country, they are probably talking to some demographic and not actually black people. So let me roll the clip and let's see what the people are saying about his video.
Like, this is the same dilemma I have when it comes to Germany. Like, I love the German language. I love how it's written, and when I hear it spoken out loud, it just sounds so good in my ear. And past me used to be like, one of these days, I'm gonna visit Germany. But then I have to realize the shocking reality of, I'm black. And so I have to tragically look up online what countries are actually comfortable with black people and that we're not, unwelcomed. And sadly, survey says that my skin tone is not welcomed in Germany, or they're mistreated in Germany. So my love for their culture will have to be from a distance, which breaks my heart. Makes me want to cry a little.
To move there, but do they like niggas?
I just wanted to know, because the fact that a lot of countries have this weird, racism towards black people and we ain't done shit to them has always been weird to me growing up. Why the hell do so many countries have a word for nigga, or they even know the word nigga, if we ain't done nothing to you? We haven't even done anything to anybody to deserve the hate in general. But here we are. So yes, my question, along with that question, is the same. If all these countries are paying everybody to move there, yeah, sure. But do they like niggas? Because the world seems to have this weird hate, but copy mechanic of us.
Do they like niggas?
You thinking about South Korea, ain't you? I know it. I lived in South Korea for a year and a half. Beautiful country. And I know you've seen all these videos of people just living there, thriving in their nice apartments for a fraction of the cost that it is in the U.S. And sure, they like black people enough. But do they like biggins? No.
Amount of money to move there, but do they like niggas?
I understand this is a joke, and I am laughing. But as somebody who has lived in Spain for the last almost 7 years, let me just say, the question isn't do they like us, it's how much do they dislike us in comparison to the US. And there are some countries that would surprise you where people really underplay the racism, and there are some countries that will surprise you that people really overplay the racism. Again, I've spent the last about 7 years in Spain. I'm going to tell you, I'm much better here. with the color of my skin. Yeah. Now let me acknowledge my privilege. I have an American passport that takes you very far. I will also acknowledge not only pretty privilege, but the fact that I had the resources and the help to get here to get any resources that I didn't have. Yes? That being said, oh, and before anybody asks, both my parents have passed away. So here we are. I'm grieving. My dad passed away very recently. Am I well? I'm better. Wouldn't say I'm well, but I'm better. But so there you have that. All of that being put into account, I will tell you that the way you are perceived in the USA when you leave, especially as an American raised in the USA with this skin tone, it's pretty surprising. One of my favorite stories to tell is my dad and I, when we first moved to Spain, I lived in Barcelona. We went to a shoe store to get a pair of boots. I did not own winter boots. I'm from Florida. The winter boots were not cheap. We went to a nice store. My dad's card declined because it was the first transaction that he had made over a certain amount of money outside of the country. And Chase Bank was like, hey, fraud. We're feeling fraud. So my dad and I looked at each other and we're getting ready for the inevitable. You guys need to leave. You guys can't afford it here. When I tell you the lady said in Spanish, she was like, oh, perdona, like, I'm so sorry your bank is doing that. Like, que pena, like, that sucks. Like, go sit over here. Do you want water? Do you want, like, a little snack? Like, let us know when the bank finishes the transaction and then we'll run the boots again. We sat there, we were like, she's being nice to us after the card declined. That would never happen. Yeah, I've been followed around Nordstrom. That would never happen. It's just little things like that. I'm not saying racism doesn't exist in Spain. That's not what I said. But I've had several interactions that I've also had in the US or things facsimiles of, and I was like, wow, this is different. This is different. But what about if you're like the only Black person and they don't know anybody and they're like, oh my gosh, like this new Black person is in town, how do they treat you? Fine. They treat you fine. When I moved to my small town, my cleaning lady stopped me at Mid-Carolina and she was like, hi, not trying to be weird, but my friend is your landlord and he told me that a pretty Black girl with braids just moved into his apartment, so I just wanted to welcome you to the neighborhood. Now, the way she accosted me, I was a little bit worried at the beginning of the conversation, but then it wasn't weird because she was my cleaning lady and it was just, I was clearly the only Black girl with braids for a few miles. So yeah. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not saying that it's perfect. There is racism, period. Full stop. I just prefer it over here, looking like this.
I'm so tired of them talking about these countries will pay you this amount of money to move there, but do they like niggas?
I can't speak for any of the other countries. I mean, you're going to go somewhere, they're not going to like ninjas, but nobody does racism like America. Nobody. I can't speak for anybody else, but I can speak for my experiences in Canada. I haven't had problems my problems have come from women that look like me, which is very disheartening. As far as the others, I haven't had an issue.
What do you guys think about these people's response to the guy's video? I love everything that the lady who is living in Spain talked about. She said it's not about if they like us, it's how much they don't like us in comparison to the US. And the last lady has just said, yeah, that she can speak for herself, like nobody does it better than US. Like, you guys can see that these people are almost saying the same thing, like, yeah, I think it's here as well, but it's not as bad as it is in the country they are coming from, which you guys already know. It's not shocking because if you're checking the statistics, if you're checking the news as well, you can tell that these people like take the lead in that position. But it was just so interesting to hear these people share their experience, and it's such a very sad like word, like for a Black person. Like, if you are Black, it's almost like life is leading you 1-0, because why do we have to be like hated so much for literally doing nothing? Why do we have to be targeted so much just because of our color? Why do we have to be so careful because of our skin color when we're in a country that is not ours? Like, it's just so disheartening. Let me hear your thoughts about this video in the comment section. Thank you all so much for joining, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe before you go and turn your bell notification on as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, and I love you guys.